Hi everyone, welcome. In our previous lessons, we've been working with negation in French. In this lesson, what I'd like you to do is simply apply what you've learned. So I'll show you a prompt and give you a second to think about it, and then I'll show you the answer. Hopefully, you can guess what the answer is before I show it to you. So that's the basic idea here. So remember, before we get started, negation is ne pas, or the N apostrophe and pas. Remember, the ne goes before the conjugated form of the verb and the pas afterwards, so it wraps around the conjugated verb. As an example, if I want to say I work, it's je travaille. If I want to say I don't work, you take the ne, place it before the travail and the pas afterwards, and you have je ne travaille pas, which means I don't work. So let's go ahead and get started. I think. Remember, the verb think is penser. Penser, to think. So do you remember how to say I think? Je pense. Je pense. Je pense. So I think. Now we want to negate that and say I don't think. So I'll give you a second to think about it. Remember, ne pas, wrapped around the conjugated form of the verb. It's pretty much that simple. So I don't think is je ne pense pas. So I think, je pense. I don't think, je ne pense pas. I like. Remember, the verb to like is aimer. And remember, aimer begins with a vowel, so instead of je, you're going to use the J apostrophe. J'aime, j'aime, I like. Since we have the apostrophe here, that gives you a heads up that instead of using ne pas, you're going to use the N apostrophe, because what follows is the verb form and it begins with a vowel. So instead of ne, I'm using the N apostrophe. So j'aime, I like. I don't like. Je n'aime pas. J'aime, I like. Je n'aime pas, I don't like. Okay, let's try something else. Adore. To adore or to love is the verb adorer in French. So I adore. Remember, notice that it begins with a vowel in French, adorer. So instead of the J-E, the J apostrophe, j'adore. J'adore. I love. I adore. I don't adore. Again, we have the apostrophe, so that gives you a heads up. Je n'adore pas. Je n'adore pas. I don't adore or I don't love. Je n'adore pas. I speak is the verb parler. Je parle. Je parle. I don't speak. Je ne parle pas. Je parle. Je ne parle pas. Study, to study. Remember, the verb to study is étudier. So I study begins with a vowel, étudier. J'étudie. J'étudie, and notice that there's an accent mark on the E. J'étudie. I don't study. Again, the accent mark should give you a heads up that instead of the ne, you're going to use the N apostrophe. I don't study. Je n'étudie pas. Je n'étudie pas. I eat. Remember, eat is the verb manger. Je mange. Je mange. Je mange. I don't eat. Try to say it yourself out loud before I say it. Je ne mange pas. Je mange, I eat. Je ne mange pas, I don't eat. I study, j'étudie. I don't study, je n'étudie pas. How about go? Go is the verb aller. It's an irregular verb, excuse me. And we actually haven't had aller in this course yet. It's coming up very soon. So I go is je vais. Je vais. It's irregular because you have to memorize the forms. You can't predict them like you can with regular verbs. Okay, so I don't go. You can easily negate this. Just the ne pas around the vais. So je vais, I go, I don't go. Je ne vais pas. Je ne vais pas. I travel. We have had this verb, voyager. Je voyage. Je voyage. And I don't travel. Je ne voyage pas. Je ne voyage pas. I don't travel. So as an additional drill, I'd like to go through it again, everything that we just covered, but a little faster. So force yourself to say the answer before I show it to you. We'll go a little bit faster than this first time around. This is just to help you sharpen your skills, force you to think a little bit. Okay, so here we go. Ready? Est-ce que vous êtes prêts? Are you ready? Okay. I think. Je pense. I don't think. Je ne pense pas. I like. J'aime. I don't like. Je n'aime pas. I adore. J'adore. I don't adore. Je n'adore pas. I speak. Je parle. I don't speak. Je ne parle pas. I study. J'étudie. I don't study. Je n'étudie pas. I eat. Je mange. I don't eat. Je ne mange pas. I go. Je vais. I don't go. Je ne vais pas. I travel. Je voyage. I don't travel. Je ne voyage pas. Okay, so how did you do? Were you able to answer all of them before I showed you the answer? If not, you might want to go back to the beginning of this faster segment and try it a couple of times. Keep doing it. This is just an idea as a way to help you really sharpen your skills, your thinking on your feet skills, so to speak. Go through the exercise several times until you can get everyone right, and then you've really learned something. One thing that I'd like to mention is that in conversation, oftentimes native speakers, especially in informal situations, will actually leave out the ne. So sometimes they might say je vais pas or je voyage pas. If you're learning French, this is something you begin to notice right away as you engage with speakers in the real world. So just be prepared for that. Formally, you should have the ne pas, but informally, a lot of native speakers leave out the ne. Okay, well that's it for this lesson. Thanks so much for watching. If you found it helpful, I would appreciate it very much if you'd give it a like. To continue learning French and go on to the next lesson, click on the video that appears here on your screen. See you soon. À bientôt.